there isn't a huge correlation between their status as a recruit back in high school and how they do in the pros.
What were you your senior year of high school?
I didn't have any stars, so I was a no star, no offer guy out of high school.
We've seen a number of zero-star recruits turn into bona fide stars. So, without further ado, let us take a look around the league at 10 stars that were zero-star recruits heading into college. Lane Johnson, OT, Philadelphia Eagles. Considering Lane Johnson might be the most athletic offensive lineman of his era, it feels insane that high school recruiters never got the memo. But when you look a little bit closer, yeah, it all starts to make a bit of sense. Johnson came out of Grovetown, Texas, a speck on the map with a population of just over 1,000 people. Not as a tackle, not even as a tight end, no, he was a quarterback. Yeah, really, the now 6'6", 317-pound All-Pro was once a wiry 6'5", 202-pound QB who could sling it well enough to earn an All-State honorable mention in Class 2A. That didn't mean much in the college football world, though. He was a zero-star prospect with no FBS offers, only light interest as a preferred walk-on. But that's just how his path began. Off the radar and on his own. Johnson took the JUCO route to Kilgore College, trying to keep the quarterback dream alive. Yeah, that didn't really stick, as his coaches saw a different future, one that I'd bet Lane thanks him for now. They bulked him up, moved him out to tight end, and then to offensive tackle. And that's where things changed. Oklahoma took a chance. They brought in a raw, oversized athlete with bend, foot speed, and work ethic. And the Sooners turned him into a first-round pick. Now he is the offensive tackle that everyone else tries to copy but just can't quite replicate. Cooper Kupp, WR, Seattle Seahawks. Cooper Kupp has the polish of a coach's kid and the patience of a man who had to wait far too long to be seen. Born in Yakima, Washington, about 4 hours from Seattle and even further from the recruiting world's consciousness, Kupp wasn't just a zero-star prospect. He was invisible. No offers, no buzz, no hype. He was undersized, overlooked, and underestimated. Kupp's father, Craig, played quarterback in the NFL, and his grandfather, Jake, was an offensive lineman. But lineage did not earn him respect. His high school numbers were solid, but nobody saw FBS-level athleticism. He had a reputation for being smart and technically sound, but not quite fast enough, not quite big enough. Eastern Washington was the only program that gave him any chance. On the red turf of EWU, Kupp turned doubters into believers. He shattered FCS records. He destroyed secondaries with surgical route running, deceptive speed, and elite football IQ. Every rep, every catch, every route was a middle finger to every recruiting site that never gave him a single star. Then came the NFL. The Rams took him in the third round in 2017, and he quickly became Jared Goff's safety blanket. Then Sean McVay's scheme Swiss Army knife, and then in 2021, Kupp had one of the greatest seasons in NFL history. 145 catches, nearly 2,000 yards, and the triple crown of receiving stats, plus a Super Bowl MVP. Now, in the later stages of his career with the Seahawks, one thing is clear. He has beaten the system. From a no-star in Yakima to one of the most respected wide receivers of the modern era. Quincy Williams, LB, New York Jets. The interesting thing about Quincy Williams is that he actually came from a football hotbed in Alabama. So it wasn't just a lack of eyeballs on him. And this guy isn't just a great story, he's a reminder that raw aggression and elite athleticism can't always be captured in a high school scouting report. Coming out of Birmingham, Alabama, Williams didn't draw a single star from recruiting services. He was light, raw, and playing safety at Murray State, which wasn't exactly a pipeline to the league. Not that it mattered to Quincy. He wasn't wired to care about rankings. He just wanted to hit something. Jacksonville took him in the third round of the 2019 NFL draft. But it wasn't until the Jets picked him off waivers in 2021 that the league saw his full potential. Now paired with his all-pro brother Quinnen, Quincy has emerged as one of the most explosive linebackers in the NFL. In 2023, he earned first-team all-pro and racked up nearly 140 tackles. He is fast, violent, and relentless. The kind of defender that makes offenses second-guess every screen and slant. Not too bad for a zero-star who took the long way. Bland CB Dallas Cowboys. Bland was the prototypical late bloomer, an under-recruited corner out of Modesto, California, just trying to earn his shot at the next level. But nothing came easy. He started at Sacramento State, where he flashed lockdown ability, but never quite got national love. A transfer to Fresno State finally gave him a bigger stage, and, well, Bland showed out. Tough in man, smooth in zone, with ridiculous ball skills. Dallas saw the vision and took him in the 5th round. Fast forward to 2023, and Bland led the entire NFL in interceptions and set the single-season record for pick sixes. That that's not just good, it is game-wrecking. He is a ball hawk in every sense, with a nose for the football and elite instincts. The most exciting part about Bland is that he is still very young in his career and continuing to develop at a rapid pace. Meaning, for the Cowboys, or whatever team his NFL career takes him to, the ROI on this zero-star recruit will only continue to rise. Cam Ward, QB, Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward still has a lot of work to do to prove that he can be a star at the NFL level. But when you get selected first overall, the truth is that you've already arrived at that level. It's just a matter of being able to keep up. For Cam Ward, the journey to this moment is nothing short of improbable. He wasn't just a zero-star recruit, he was an absolute ghost in the system. Coming out of West Columbia, Texas, Ward had no real attention, no offers from major schools. He landed at Incarnate Ward, an FCS program most casual fans couldn't even find on a map. But that's where it all began. Ward rewrote the record books with his arm talent and playmaking ability at Washington State and Florida State. And now, he'll kick off his NFL career where the lights are the brightest. He is no longer overlooked, and it is officially time to prove that he has arrived as a legit star in the league. Jack Conklin, OT, Cleveland Browns. Coming out of Plainwell, Michigan, Conklin walked on at Michigan State, betting on his ability to outwork everyone. And you know what? Credit to Conklin because he answered the bell and then some. Because he didn't just earn a scholarship as a Spartan, he eventually managed to earn first-round draft pick status. Conklin became the prototype, a technically sound, gritty, and mean-in-the-run game force to be reckoned with. He is now a two-time All-Pro who helped pave Derrick Henry's path to a rushing title in Tennessee, then brought that same edge to Cleveland. When healthy, he is one of the most reliable tackles in the game. And there really is no shortage of teams that would be lining up for his services on the open market. Devin Witherspoon, CB, Seattle Seahawks. Devin Witherspoon didn't play football until his junior year of high school. That alone explains how every recruiting service whiffed, because what happened after is what makes his story so different. He came from Pensacola, Florida, played in a small high school, and as the result of his non-qualifying test scores that almost derailed his college eligibility, he nearly fell through the cracks entirely. But Illinois took a flyer and, oh man, did they get a return on investment. More specifically, what they got in return was a corner with attitude, range, and the kind of ferocity that sets the tone for an entire secondary. And now, he's a two-time Pro Bowler in the NFL, and one of the most promising young NFL stars. Dalton Kincaid, TE, Buffalo Bills. A basketball standout at Faith Lutheran in Las Vegas, Kincaid's natural hands, leaping ability, and spatial awareness translated instantly to the gridiron. When he went out for the team the first time his senior year, he put up 745 yards and 8 touchdowns in that one season. Sure, impressive, but not quite enough to break through the recruiting noise. Now, he's turned into one of the better young NFL tight ends in the league, snagging catches from Josh Allen with 117 catches, 1,121 receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns with 4. Carson Wentz, QB, Kansas City Chiefs. Alright, we gotta call a spade here. Carson Wentz is no longer a star, but I mean, he's a big enough name in the NFL and had a star-level peak worthy of making this list. Given the advancements he made in his career, it is stunning that he was not ranked coming out of high school in North Dakota. I mean, Wentz wasn't just overlooked, he was practically invisible, as evidenced by his FCS college career. And this was despite being a 3-sport athlete at Century High in Bismarck. I mean, by 2016, he was the number 2 overall pick in the NFL draft, despite being a Bison for his entire career. In Philly, where he was drafted, Wentz looked like the future before tearing his ACL, which completely derailed his career. The Eagles won the Super Bowl without him, but unfortunately, he never quite reclaimed that spark. Adam Thielen, WR. Thielen was a multi-sport athlete, football, basketball, baseball, and golf, but none of it registered on a national scale because of the location and his size. He eventually walked on at Division II Minnesota State, where, no surprise here, he turned into a steady, consistent contributor and ultimately into one of the school's most productive pass catchers ever. Coming out of school, there wasn't much NFL interest, and he went undrafted in 2013 and scraped his way into the Vikings roster via a local tryout. But once he got a shot, man, he never looked back. Thielen blossomed into a Pro Bowler and one of the most reliable route runners in the league. Never the fastest guy on the field, but almost always open. The craziest thing about Thielen, though, is that he's one of the older players on this list, and in the NFL. But quite frankly, he's still doing it. And he isn't just a mentor or a voice in the locker room. Oh no, this guy finds a way to contribute week in and week out, like the true professional that he's always been. But hey, which NFL star are you most surprised was a zero-star prospect back in high school? Who do you think we're right on here? Who do you think we're wrong about? Was there anyone notable that we may have missed? Let us know in the comments section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, then hey, clicking the like button helps out a ton. And you know, we really appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, then subscribing is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.